This is, first things first, a run back from the EU regionals. toxjq was defeated by RAISY out there and eliminated from it back then. They've both gone Sorlag, a straight-up mirror match to kick things off.
Now, I get the feeling we're going to be starting this at 100 miles an hour. This is two players that have fought in tournament before. We understand they are both incredibly high-level players, but also RAISY has been playing Sorlag almost the entire time that he's been playing competitive Quake Champions. And Sorlag really seeing a lot of game time now, specifically in the current state of the game. RAISY and actually both these players, in hindsight, have been playing Sorlag from day one. So we're going to see a masterclass on how to play this champion, I think.
RAISY is riding a lot of momentum as well, fresh off a good performance in the latest 125 FPS, where it was second place to Cypher, last champion on this exact map. So he's been grinding and doing really well for himself in preparation for QuakeCon.
So, upon looking at the actual champion lineups, you know, this being Duel, you get 3 champions, 1 life each. You choose them in an order you want to play them to try and defeat your opponent's team before they defeat yours. We have an exact mirror match here. So it's going to be Sorlag, Anarchy, and Slash on the side of both players. So this is just going to be a complete match of who can put these identical tools to better use.
Actually, I think you might be a little bit blind there.
That's Galena. That is not Slash, that's Galena.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, moving on very swiftly. It is going to be a mirror immediately, though, with 2 Sorlags. So the ticking damage isn't going to apply, but the impact damage of the acid does remain.
Still, though, we've seen Galena quite a lot on Corrupted Keep, and it's actually being used by the side of RAISY. You know, we saw in his play card, Corrupted Keep is RAISY's favorite map. And if he can get that ball rolling and get those totems on deck, depending if he even gets to use her, we might see a 1 champion win with Sorlag based on what we've seen before. But I mean, these guys, they played at the European Regionals, right? And it was very one-sided for RAISY at the time, but there's been a long time between then and now. And this first frag going down to the absolute wire, and RAISY's going to take down toxjq straight away.
Now he's forced onto Anarchy. Anarchy is a really effective champion, sometimes at sort of catching you as you're weak and he's spawned. But on this map, when you're going to be so close, so many big pickups already. Hang on a minute. He comes in. Wow, he was almost surviving, but not quite. At the last minute, toxjq inches that one out.
Did look like RAISY was ever so slightly able to pick up some armor, but armor is no good to you if you have no health whatsoever. He's going to get taken down and back into this Anarchy versus Anarchy for the actual second life. Oh, straight away, we're going to fight. The mega health goes the way of toxjq, which is going to keep him alive and give him some chase potential here.
I think RAISY acknowledges that it's going to be really risky trying to fight for that heavy armor. Better to just concede it. Try and get your stack back up using those little health items. You're not going to be able to sort of overcharge yourself, but it's going to be enough to survive at least.
Oh, a nice amount of damage on the rocket. Corrupted Keep, let's not get this is the map which does not have a railgun. It's all going to be down to machine gun for long range damage, lightning gun from the medium range, and then rockets for up close and personal. It really shifts around how you have to take these fights, especially when you're a squishy champion like Anarchy, but the mega health goes the way of toxjq.
He's been able to control these pickups effectively so far. Like he's taken the vast majority of them in this round.
We'll try to pick up the heavy armor, is able to secure it. RAISY, we can see, is quite low in health and armor, but is still here looking to fight. Is toxjq going to chase this?
A little bit confident. Checking a couple of rockets just in case, but definitely doesn't want to overextend this early on.
Oh, RAISY, though, using the teleporter, backing himself into a corner up there. Can he fight his way out? It looks like toxjq is actually content backing up now, giving him a little bit of space to move.
Yeah, give him the space and then try and maybe fight for the mega instead. Does manage to take the mega, a little bit overcharged, but not much armor right now. That'll be swiftly sorted out when this heavy armor spawns. But again, looks like RAISY's been able to force toxjq away from it.
Also securing the heavy armor. So right now we see toxjq been controlling it. Is he going down? Yes, he is. RAISY realizes that it is time to take the fight, and he forces it into toxjq, and toxjq now on his favorite champion, Slash, by herself.
Oh, wow, huge damage on that direct rocket. Tries going for the teleport, but I'm not sure.
Do they both have 1 HP?
Wait a minute, what just happened there?
I think they both had 1 HP, based on this how much they had on the actual HUD itself. But trading out that frag for a frag completely in RAISY's favor, as he actually has a champion advantage. So he can trade out that frag and not have to worry he's going to win the round.
Well, that's one way to start a round, going straight in. Now, in between the rounds, you can change the champion that you spawn with. As you can see right there, toxjq's gone Anarchy first rather than Sorlag, but RAISY has mentioned his favorite champion is Sorlag. He consistently goes Sorlag first as well. A very sort of common theme when you watch RAISY play Duel.
Now, we do tend to see Anarchy put up first because Anarchy's ability, that ejection, upping his health permanently by 1 every time he uses it. If you have him first and can get an advantage, the longer you use Anarchy, the more health you will inevitably just gain as you play the round. Oh, he actually didn't have time. So much life just completely obliterated by RAISY. He takes the first frag again. toxjq forced onto Sorlag before he can build up any momentum whatsoever with Anarchy.
I mean, toxjq had the jump on him as well, but it's just the amount of damage that Sorlag is able to output with the spit combined with the LG. The health difference makes a huge difference in that kind of exchange. Toxic, he's in a bad spot. RAISY with the cleanup again. 2 champions down already. He's down to Slash, and we're not even 1 minute in.
This is just a testament to how aggressive these duels can be. We can go down to 5-minute overtimes, 1 frag rounds, or we can have a complete bloodbath like this where RAISY is just forcing the fight every time he can.
But even if he doesn't get the frag, he's still going to win that exchange because he's been able to force Toxic away from heavy armor. He has minimal. Right there, actually. I'm about to say if he has... no, that's it. He's dead.
Wow.
Guaranteed. Before I can even finish what I was saying, the damage over time effect working wonders. And that's the strength of a champion like Sorlag on a map like Corrupted Keep. Close range, close quarters, almost impossible for Sorlag to actually miss the spit in any degree. And if you're using small light champions, not only are you going to get good coverage on the map because you can see the damage numbers through the map, but the damage in itself just keeps the opponent on the back foot at all times.
Yes, match very much a bit of a playground for Sorlag, as it were, just letting her do what she wants, having a lot of fun in the process. A bit of Toxic was able to secure the heavy armor, I believe. RAISY getting the mega health, so that's one thing we'll see quite often today is trading the big pickup for the big pickup. But looks like, yeah, Toxic has opted to start with Sorlag again this time. Just trying to run that mirror from the first life onwards.
I think one major element in this exchange is that the Corrupted Keep first is taking the rail away.
That was a bit of a misplay coming out for RAISY though. Forced to use that acid a little bit early, takes a lot of damage in the process too, but able to salvage itself with a bit of heavy armor.
Toxic with the chase though, definitely more than aware that he's going to be there. But as I was mentioning, actually, it's the important thing about a map like this is that you've taken the option of a railgun away from Toxic, who has one of the best rails in the business.
For sure, but we're seeing that massive difference. Toxic trying to just put this area denial on that mega health, knowing it's going to be up in just a few seconds. He comes down, but it's going to go the way of RAISY. Is he going to win this 1v1? Yes, he is, ever so slightly again. RAISY is just getting the upper hand in these straight-up 1v1 engagements every round.
It's just his knowledge of when he can land an acid spit, because when he goes in for the acid spit, almost every single time he activates it, he gets a frag. And that's just the knowledge. The amount of time this guy has been using Sorlag since day one. That's it. You know when to use abilities as game-changing as that spit in a fight.
But this is just such a clash of a matchup, though. Toxic forced the Bombers injection already. Did any of the acids connect? It did indeed. So RAISY's going to have an idea where he is for a few seconds more. It's going to see him going towards heavy armor.
And Toxic, he is unbelievably weak. And you can see RAISY, he's going to be a complete bully here. Tries to do as much damage as he can, but really, RAISY knew where he was on the map because he saw the damage numbers and he acknowledged he's got to be weak in this situation. He was correct. 30 HP was all Toxic had.
A bit of a miserable situation for Toxic to be left in now, though. Just Slash alone versus RAISY Sorlag, that has been his star champion, his favorite champion for so long. And there we go, just so quickly. The damage just adds up out of nowhere. And RAISY taking a confident first map off of Toxic.
So, makes sense as to why we saw that map get selected